This is my team. And this is the new Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands. Hello, I'm Brad Van Pelt. New York's so big that it's hard to even begin to tell you about it. I could start here with a skyline like no other in the world. But let me show you a special part of the New York scene. It's the feeling you get when you're jogging in Central Park, walking up Fifth Avenue, riding the subway, or looking back on the city from the George Washington Bridge. The feeling that here, in what may be the greatest experiment of people living together, there is the greatest need for human friendship. That's why the United Way volunteers are so important. They work for the visiting nurses, Girl Scouts, Salvation Army, and many other agencies funded by the United Way. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut wouldn't be the same without them. On behalf of the volunteers and the Tri-State United Way, we'd like to say, thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. It's halftime here at Bloomington, Minnesota, and the Minnesota Vikings are leading the Detroit Lions by a score of 14-0. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning here at Bloomington, and Paul, the Vikings got 14 points in a hurry, and for the Lions, it was a struggle throughout the first half.
They sure did, and Detroit, as we've been mentioning all during this ball game, came in as the #1 team in rushing in the National Football League, and they've been stymied here in the first half. Actually, Fran Tarkenton just picked them apart, especially in that first quarter. He's 13 out of 21 in the first half for 188 yards. His counterpart, Landry, is 10 out of 18 for 134 yards, but they haven't been able to rush the football. Detroit just about 30 yards, 20 yards rushing, actually, and that is not comparable to what they've been doing.
Well, as you pointed out, the field condition has been a factor because it's been a heavy field, a muddy field, a tough one to try to establish a rushing game on.
Well, you know, Lindsey, there's two schools of thought. Now, what we're watching now is a team struggling to run the football. They can't plant. It doesn't look like they're cutting off when they plant their cleats in the ground. But, you know, looking back, I know I wasn't a fast back, but you had guys like Taylor and myself. We used to love an off-track, and we were a pretty good rushing football team. When we got an off-track, we figured it would help the rushing. It helped the offensive line to block, so you really don't have to sustain your blocks as far. You just have to get a standoff, and the back just picks a little bit of daylight. But Detroit has really had a tough time moving the football on the ground, and, of course, that lateral pass from Rashad. Rashad has caught 5 for 77 passes, and there lies another story. Detroit 55 yards in penalties. The one penalty took them out of possibly 3 points on the board there at the close of the first half.
Ask you, do you see any similarities between this Viking football team and the later-day Green Bay Packers? Some people have thought that perhaps there are similarities because of the fact that the Pack got to be a fairly old football team, but they played well enough to beat you. They didn't really blow you out, but they would continue to win. These Vikings last year didn't run over people, but they managed to win.
You know, I think the great similarity, if we can draw one, is because of that man right there. Bud Grant is a winner, and he loves to win, and he coaches his football team. They're not that much of a rah-rah team. They don't get too excited, but they try to play and make the least mistakes. They let you beat yourselves more than you'll see a Viking team beat themselves, and I think that's been the secret. Also, they've got a heady guy at quarterback who's not going to make the mistakes. He's already has 5 interceptions on the year, but that's not the usual Fran Tarkenton. We're seeing the Fran Tarkenton today.
Well, in the Central Division, I'm certain that everybody who plays them is trying to knock off the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, they have to. And they deserve that era. The last 10 years, they have been the most winning team in the National Football Conference. Grant has done just an absolute super job. They've got 8 guys over 10 years of experience, but those 8 guys, they do a lot for the rookies and the first and second year men. They teach them how to, when they're in a ball game, how to react under certain circumstances, and that helps. This team, man for man, is as good as almost any team in pro football. They're not going to beat themselves.
Fred Cox is ready to kick it off now for the Minnesota Vikings. As we start the second half, the Vikings lead 14-0. The ball is in the air. And it is taken by Kane. Rick Kane drops it, picks it up at the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Kane to the 25 to the 30. And he is down at about the 33-yard line. It was Robert Miller downfield to make the tackle.
That was a good recovery by Rick Kane there after the fumble. He could have had field position back about the 20-yard line. He's got it over the 30.
Spotted at the 32-yard line. First down and 10 for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry brings him up. He's got Dexter Bussey and Horace King. Set backs in an I formation.
330.
Even them up. King to the right, Bussy to the left. Out in the flat left to Jarvis. Jitterbugs it through and moves it up to the 45-yard line.
Jeff Seaman on the stop bar. The Viking defense, Lindsay, had a screen on the left side, and Detroit comes with play action, screen left to the split end. Watch the tackle. That's Yarborough getting a knockout block on the cornerback there. Bobby Bryant, first down, Lions.
Next to Bussy in the first half, not only one rushing attempt, he lost a yard. Was the number 2 rusher in the National Football Conference coming into the game. King upended at the 47-yard line by Bobby Bryant.
Excuse me, Lindsay, what a block he got from Dexter Bussy. You just mentioned he only had a -1 yards in the first half, but see if we can pick up the block from the left halfback. Horace King off the left side. You see Alan Page on the pursuit. Right there was Dexter Bussy. He knocked out the linebacker, and Horace King does the rest. Pick up a 9.
Second down play coming. Second down and a yard to go. This is Bussy. If it's marked,
it should be enough for the first down.
It will be if it's marked there. Seaman and Blair made the tackle. First and 10.
We've got a final. The New York Jets, even their record of 2-2, they beat Buffalo 24-19.
The amazing Jets, 2 in a row.
You talk about Mets or Jets?
This year the Mets didn't win 2 in a row. First and 10 at the 45. Taken and right on out of bounds by Horace King. It's at the 41-yard line.
Not much harm done. Picked up 3. See, on that field like this, the way it is, he had to run out of bounds. His momentum would have just carried him out of bounds. A good field, he might have been able to stop, cut, turn upfield a little bit.
Second down play here as Greg Landry brings him up with Horace King and Dexter Bussy. His setbacks in an I formation. Even them up. Bussy to the left, King to the right. As a delay and on the draw play, Horace King carries as a penalty marker on the play as he moves down to the 36-37. Matt Blair made the stop. And it is holding against the Detroit Lions.
Oh, and he was just about a half a yard short of first down at the 35-yard line. Again, penalties playing a part against the Lions. 55 yards in the first half. Here's another 10. I hope it's not Craig Hertwig again.
I hope it's not, too. Let's find out here.
Holding number 68, Detroit.
No, it's Mark Markovich, who's over there next to Craig Hertwig. The thing about it is,
not osmosis, is it? It just goes right down the line.
I think it's Carl Eller is what it is, and you're not allowed to carry a club, so the next best thing you can do is hold. It's back at the 49-yard line.
I'll bet he's been held more than any defensive end in the history of the game.
I think you're right. Landry. Over the middle, wide open. Taken by Horace King. Doesn't get the first down yardage as he's at the 37. Jeff Wright made the stop.
Got about 14 yards back on this little delay. Now watch him. There he goes to the middle of your screen on a delay over the middle. Landry very wisely dumps it right over the middle to his safety valve. And King does the rest. Picked up 14.
Final score, New England Patriots 31 and the Seattle Mariners nothing.
So they even their record up in the Eastern Division of the AFC at 2-2.
Third down and 2 yards to go, and this time it is Horace King.
Oh, what a play. Number 59, Matt Blair. And Lindsay, that's his great range. A 4-year veteran from Iowa State just keeps coming up with the big play. There he is. He's cheated up on the inside now. They've got an odd man situation. Page goes to his left, and 59, Matt Blair, does the rest.
So now it is 4th down. And the Detroit Lions come up here now. 4th down and 2 yards to go.
Viking defense has kind of stymied that double tight end situation so far on the rush.
They got to go, and it's King, and he's got the 1st down. Just kept that momentum going after he lost his balance.
Well, he almost got tripped up by Alan Page in a desperation move to his right. But Horace King kept his balance that time, got the 1st down. There's Page. Now watch, he gets blocked over into the play. Just desperation dive for him, and Horace King had enough momentum to get the 1st down.
Rusty and King are still the setbacks for the Detroit Lions to keep their drive alive now. And it's completed at the 25-yard line to Ray Jarvis.
Tell you, I like the way Landry's playing this year, boy. He has been an outstanding quarterback. He's picking his plays well, too, Lindsey. He's taking what that defense is going to give you. And I've seen so many teams come in here against the Vikings and try to throw the home run ball. You do not beat the Minnesota Vikings with 65, 50-yard passes. You've got to pick apart that zone defense.
2nd down play coming now. 2nd and about 3 at the 25-yard line. Jeff Seaman was out to stop Horace King.
Another an odd man defense. There's Page, head up to center. They go right up. Jeff Seaman steps over in front. He was lined up right in back of the left guard, and he just played the play beautifully.
So it's another big 3rd down play now for the Detroit Lions. 3rd and 2. They have it at the 24-yard line. Bussey.
Still struggling,
trying to get to those sticks. That was Nate Wright, the number 43, the last man there. Jeff Seaman had him earlier. Now they take a look at his 1st and 10.
And I think that's the toughest 1st down he's made all year long. Dexter Bussey just will not be denied here. There's the guard pulling in front, Russ Bollinger. Now watch the extra effort of Dexter Bussey. He gets hit by number 43, Nate Wright. Jeff Seaman helps out, but Bussey will not be denied that 1st down.
It is at the 22-yard line. Lions trying to get something on the scoreboard here in the 3rd quarter with Minnesota leading 14-0. Landry rolling right. Landry's got to keep it. He's at the 20. He's at the 15, and wisely hits the deck at the 13. Matt Blair was there on the tackle. Now the final score, Paul.
And Philadelphia Eagles 28th, even their record at 2-2, and the New York Giants continue to struggle, boy.
2nd down here for the Detroit Lions, about a yard to go at the 13.
Both teams have 10 1st down apiece now.
Bussey left and King right.
We need 7 here to get back in this football game, Lindsey.
There's King. Little trouble on the handoff, and then he was trying to find a place to go.
Well, he was trying to cut, and again, I'm going to bring it up that because of the field, it looks as if they've taken a lot of time to plant the foot and cut, and that's because of the field. It's really difficult.
The officials have got to bring out the chain and measure for the possible 1st down. It looked to be a little short, but we'll find out now.
Well, the Bengals have taken a 14-7 lead over Green Bay in the 3rd quarter on a 2-yard run by Tony Davis. And the Pack's having their problems, too.
He's got it, 1st and 10. First and 10 at the Minnesota 12-yard line. Lions, Greg Landry still quarterbacking. Next to Bussey and Horace King is still the setback. It's Bussey. See that?
Very
By
tough.
Jeff Wright.
It's just very tough to cut. Jeff Wright came up from his strong safety there.
2nd and 11 at the 13-yard line. 7 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Vikings 14 and the Lions nothing. Bussey and King are the setbacks. Bussey right and King left. Pushing back to the inside. It's Bussey going wide, cutting back. Pass to the 10 and inside. Just about the 8-yard line.
And I want
Carl
to tell
Eller.
you, Lindsey, Carl Eller, number 81, saved the touchdown here. They got good blocking. Bussey goes around the left side. He makes a good cut here. Marshall overruns the play, cuts back to the inside, and here comes Carl Eller. He could have got by Big Carl, and it would have been 6.
There have been many trying to get by Big Carl for many, many years. He is a 14-year veteran, 247-pounder, 6'6".
And I tell you, I had to block him a lot of times, Lindsey. When I had to block him, it looked like it was a double wing. I'd move right up outside of that tackle. He was so quick.
Popped it out to the right flat, and it's Luther Blue, and he's in for a touchdown. Luther Blue in for a Detroit touchdown.
And I tell you, there was about 2 missed tackles on the play. 67 yards that drive in 15 plays. It's just a quick hitch out to Luther Blue, and he does the rest. Watch this right here. Nate Wright misses him. Jeff Wright misses him, and the middle linebacker. That's Seaman. Good run by Luther Blue to put the Lions on the board.
Luther Blue, a rookie from Iowa State. And Steve Mickemeyer is in to attempt the conversion. It points after he is 6 for 7. Gary Danielson, former quarterback at Purdue, will hold.
They blocked a lot of kicks. They'll really be trying to block this extra point. Here they come.
Got that one up, and it's good. So as they come back up the field, it is the Vikings 14, the Detroit Lions 7. And we have 6 minutes, 15 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter of the game.
Introducing the Ford in your future, the new Ford Fairmont wagon. A new wagon designed for today and the years ahead. The Fairmont wagon has excellent mileage ratings, but while it is trim and lean outside, Fairmont has almost 90% of the passenger space of most large wagons, and with the seat down can swallow up all this cargo. Yet for all this, the new Fairmont wagon as shown is actually sticker price less than this little VW Rabbit. Test drive Fairmont, the newest better idea from the Wagon Master.
Except for the insurance and closing.
Oh, well, what insurance company?
Ah, they're all the same.
Allstate's different.
Different. How?
We give a 10% discount for newer homes.
Oh?
It's a 10% discount
Now 10% off our rate.
on basic homeowners insurance for houses 5 years old or less.
Allstate's different, all right.
Good hand.
Oh, boy.
When it takes being different to be better, Allstate will do it.
That's a promise from us. The good hands people.
Steve Mickemeyer will kick it off now for the Detroit Lions. Manfred Moore is deep. He's got Sammy White on one side. He's got Robert Miller on the other to receive it. Manfred Moore at the 8 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Hurdles his way upfield and struggles to the 24-yard line. It was Reggie Pinckney downfield to make the tackle for the Lions. Starting tomorrow night, Logan's Run takes you to the outer reaches of the universe. A mind-bending adventure every Monday. That's Monday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain for Logan's Run. Paul, how do you feel about mind-bending adventure?
Mind-bending adventure, yes, sir. Did you get me on one of those shows, Lindsey? Don't you ever even pull to New York?
I had no idea you weren't on one of those shows. Foreman and McClanahan are the setbacks. Dropping back. Pass out to McClanahan on the screen left, and it is McClanahan stopped at the 27. Charlie Weaver made the stop.
Marketing, quick screen left. You see the center leave that man head up the center real quick. He's going to try to get over and get into the blocking. McClanahan beats one man, cuts back to the inside, picked up 3.
Second down, 7 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings. 5 minutes, 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Bram Tarkenton. Taken by Ahmad Rashad, and he went out just at the 35-yard line. Tarkenton 14 for 22, 191 yards, and it was Williams on the corner. There's Rashad.
And there's his sixth pass reception of the afternoon. What a day he's having. 45,860 here this afternoon at the Met. Over 2,500 no-shows, Lindsay. It's not cold enough yet for really a sellout here. People will not really show up. There won't be a seat in the house when it gets 10 degrees above zero.
You're right. It's still warm enough for them to stay home. First and 10. That's the 35-yard line. Whoa, Chuck Foreman.
Let's see if we can pick up the hard driving legs of Chuck Foreman. Out of the I formation. Starts off to his left, then veers back to the right side. Keeps his legs churning, boy, I tell you. He can do it all, Lindsay.
Second down. 6 yards to go, and the ball is at the 39-yard line. Rashad goes far to the right side.
I want to get that right back.
Hanahan and Foreman are still the setbacks. Ryan McClanahan, but nothing. No gain on the play. Ed O'Neill was there on the tackle.
Good penetration by the Detroit line defense here. Here comes McClanahan. Good penetration there. That was Ken Saunders. Ed O'Neill, number 55, puts a stopper.
Bob Grimm comes into the game. You see Stu Boyd going off on the far side. Minnesota 14, Detroit 7. 4 minutes, 16 seconds left in the third quarter. McClanahan and Foreman.
Now let's see if these two remaining backs go out of the backfield and work on the linebacker. There they go.
All alone on the far side is Foreman. Got it up to midfield.
He motivates these people, Lindsay. As soon as he gets his hands on the football on a one-on-one situation, he brings the people to their feet.
It's a first down.
There he is. He cut to the outside. That's that split backfield I was talking about. Worked on the linebacker and cut to the outside. He usually defeats the first back that tries to tackle him or a linebacker, but he was really covered on the sidelines there. He had no opportunity.
Target still got it. He's cut off at the pass at the line of scrimmage by Paul Newmoff.
Grant said, something's wrong here. I don't think this was a... I tell you, believe me, if anybody can play to his 50, that guy can.
Foreman. Move to the 43. Ken Sanders made the stop.
Let's take a look at Foreman here. Somebody tries to arm tackle him right here at the line of scrimmage. Right there at 78, Doug English, and you do not stop Chuck Foreman with an arm tackle. Ed McNeil finally got him.
Third down and 2 yards to go. White and Rashad are double to the left side. Foreman. Got a foot or so, and that's all. Ball was taken away, but the whistle had blown, I think.
Well, we got a very important game going on for the Central Division of the AFC. It's 10-10, Pittsburgh and Houston. Both teams 2-1.
So on fourth down, Neil Claybo is coming in to do the punting. The Lions are dropping back Dick Giron. Standing along his own 10.
Good defense right there by Detroit. Causing Minnesota to punt it away, Lance. They need that football back.
High spiraling kick. Giron throws up the fair catch, lets it go, and it's gone into the end zone. Touchback. It'll be put in play first and 10 at the 20-yard line. So, with 2 minutes, 4 seconds left to play in the third quarter, Minnesota Vikings 14, Detroit Lions 7, but the Lions have the ball now, first and 10 at their own 20.
Hey, now's the time to pick up plenty of Schlitz.
Pass the word, pass the word, pass the word.
Because the Schlitz football offer is here. Look for this display at participating stores and save up to $5 on an official Wilson football. Come on.
Pick up Schlitz and have a ball. Pass the word, pass the word, pass the Schlitz.
Should have bought Mobile One. The oil, it saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobile One. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobile One. Engine temperature hits 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobile One. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobile One, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Logan's Run, the ultimate trip. Now on a new night and a new time. Monday starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Final score, the defending Super Bowl champion Oakland Raiders 26 and the Cleveland Browns 10.
Ken Stabler was roughed up and out of that ball game. They're going to be tough to beat.
First and 10 Lions at their own 20. Bussey and King are the setbacks. Here's King. Gets 6 yards out to the 26.
Oh, what a great play Alan Page made. He was lined up on the left shoulder of the center. Now watch him shift over a little bit. I happen to be watching him there because he's so active on first down. Now watch him play off the block of the center. That's a good block, almost holding there again by the guard. And that's Page underneath around the ankles.
Second down and 4 yards to go. Ball's at the 26-yard line. Bussey and King again the setbacks. Shift him out of the eye. Motion back by Jarvis to the right set. Henry. Incomplete to Charlie Sanders.
Ooh, and all he had to be was Jeff Seaman. I think he had a step on him to the outside. That would have been a first down, I think. Here's Page pressure again. He's head up the center. Now watch. He's got to get rid of the center a little bit quicker. He steps to the outside. His bootleg is going on in the backfield. He's got his man beaten, but Landry gets rid of it.
Third down and 4 yards to go. Jarvis to the right side. J.D. Hill to the left. Orange King and Dexter Bussey, the Detroit running back. Done complete at the 30-yard line to Bussey.
Fred McNeil on a very, very good tackle. Might be a little bit short here. Let's see where they mark it. It depends on where the referee marks the football. I think they've got to get it a little bit past that 30-yard line.
Got to get it to the line because it started on the 20 on a touchback. So if you get it to the line, you got a first down. They did, and it is. We have now 44 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter.
Oh, this third quarter went by in a hurry.
Landry. Jarvis. There's penalty marker. Nate Wright was covering a penalty marker.
Ray Jarvis is happy. Look at him clap his hands. And I thought Nate Wright was just a little bit too close. He had such good coverage on him.
Pass interference against Nate Wright, and the Minnesota Vikings makes it 1st and 10 Detroit.
Okay, Landry going
Number
back.
43, Minnesota.
Go to the right side over here to Jarvis. Now watch Nate Wright. He comes right over the back of him. And the ruling is there that he hit him before the ball arrived. So it's pass interference.
First and 10 on the 43-yard line. Popped out to the left, but Seaman was there in a hurry. Ray Jarvis. Beg your pardon, Bobby Bryant, the cornerback it was. Bobby Bryant.
Very quick reaction there on Bobby Bryant's part. Had a bad ankle earlier. He's back in action today. 9 years better now in South Carolina.
Second down, 9 yards to go. There is the gun ending the period. So at the end of the third quarter, it is the Minnesota Vikings 14 and the Detroit Lions nothing. Seven. Beg your pardon.
Five on the 50-yard line!
Hey, Charlie, it was cold last night. You put in a Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone? You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone. We need Prestone.
Prestone. You need Prestone.
For the millions of people who need a full-size car, introducing the 1978 Ford LTD. If you need 6-passenger space, if you need a roomy trunk, if you want mileage like this, then the full-size 1978 Ford LTD could be just the car for you. LTD, a better idea from Ford.
A little cleat cleaning going on now to get a little mud out of the cleats on the field as we start the fourth quarter, of course. It is the Vikings 14, the Lions 7, and a big quarter to go here.
Well, the Lions have come back. Of course, they had those 2 early quick touchdowns scored on them, and now they have control of the first downs. They've got 2 more than the Vikes, 14-12.
Second and 9, they have the ball at their own 45. The Lions in possession here. Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning at Bloomington, Minnesota. Greg Landry going long. Luther Blue downfield, can't get to it. Covered by Nate Wright.
And he had a man-to-man situation there because the Minnesota Vikings were in a blitz situation. Seaman in the middle blitzed, and Detroit really picked him up good. Tried to go for the home run down the right side of Luther Blue. Nate Wright on the coverage.
Third down play coming now.
About you, Greg, but I'd stick with that big number 81 in there. David Hill. They've gone to David Hill in a lot of third down situations here. Let's see if they go back to the tight end. He can hook over the middle. He's wide open on a couple occasions today.
Landry. And this time Alan Page has him in his pass. Alan Page got to it. Well, that's what he does best. The quickness of Alan Page in the middle on the sack.
Big defensive play for Allen.
A big one because it brings the punting unit on, and the Detroit Lions have to give up the football here in the fourth quarter. Manfred Morris dropped back from Minnesota to receive it. Wilbur Summers back to kick. Summers on his own 20-yard line. Manfred Moore at the 26, to the 30, 35, 40.
He hit.
He was really popped as he got to the 40. I think David Hill really put a hit on him. So the Minnesota Vikings retain possession and will take over first and 10 just in advance of their own 40-yard line.
The closer you shave, boy.
The closer you shave, boy.
The more you will need.
The more you will need.
Great balls of comfort.
Great balls of comfort.
To do it with ease.
Great balls of comfort.
Oh, just let Noxema.
Noxema.
Premium.
Great balls of comfort to you.
The closer you shave, the more you need soothing, medicated Noxema.
Great balls of comfort to you. Woo.
A rain-slick highway, a skid, and a potentially major accident becomes a minor incident. Thanks to a crash barrier with a shatterproof plastic nose cone. A unique plastic developed and supplied by Phillips Petroleum. Developing new plastics while making fine products for your car. That's performance. From Phillips Petroleum, the performance company.
With 14 minutes, 22 seconds left to play in this game, the Minnesota Vikings have the ball first and 10 at their own 41-yard line, and they're leading the Detroit Lions by a score of 14-7. Chuck Foreman and Brent McClanahan are the setbacks for Fran Tarkenton. Tarkenton And it's complete to Voigt. Stu Voigt is tight end. But there's a loss of a foot or so on the play as James Hunter made the tackle. You can see that Stu Voigt has been in the mud.
Fran wanted to go to his left side. He came back against the grain to Voigt. James Hunter had his man, had the beat on him. St. Louis has taken an early 3-0 lead over Dallas. 32-yard field goal by Jim Bakken.
Clanahan and Foreman are still the setbacks. Second down and 12 yards to go. Clanahan in motion outside right. Parkington up the middle, and it's intercepted and dropped, incomplete. Paul Newhoff had it in his hands and could not control it. It's simply an incompleted pass.
Well, it was intended for Chuck Foreman, Lenz, and I think it was just too easy for Paul. He just had it look like he pulled a muscle, too. He's limping off on the left side, holding his leg in the hamstring area. Got a little running room over to the right side, too, didn't he?
He did that. Third down play coming now. Tony Dakin has come in to replace Newhoff. Tony Dakin is the linebacker in there. Parkington over the middle to White. Sammy White at the 40. Sammy White fumbled the ball, and Detroit may have recovered it. They did. The Detroit Lions got it.
On a post pattern, Sammy White catches the football. He's got the first down in Detroit territory, loses the handle, and Detroit gets a break.
They get the ball, 1st and 10 at about the 36.
This is Jim Laszlovic in the middle linebacker. He sees White right here. A good catch by Sammy White. Lem Barney misses him.
We'll return to Metropolitan Stadium after this word from your local station.
A cab driver is driven to violence by a voice that rides with him all night, his radio. A curious case for Kojak, tonight on CBS.
Minnesota fumble is recovered for Detroit by James Hunter, the cornerback. So Detroit starts 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Dexter Bussey and Horace King are the setbacks for quarterback Greg Landry. Minnesota's leading 14-7 in the 4th quarter. Landry, screen right, and it is taken by Horace King. But he is sworn, struggles his way up, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jeff Seaman on the tackle, along with Matt Blair.
Third quarter score, Baltimore has come back. 3 touchdown passes by Burt Jones. It's Baltimore 31, Miami 28. Pittsburgh and Houston, another big one. 17-10 Houston. Another Pastorini to Billy Johnson pass. Pastorini's thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Johnson, one to Ken Burrow.
Second down, 11 yards to go. Landry. And it is completed. Charlie Sanders up the sideline and out of bounds. They mark near midfield.
Should be enough for the first down, Lindsey. Picked up about 12 yards on the play.
1st and 10 at the 50.
So we've got a typical, I guess, Central Division game. 14-7. 4th quarter. And the Lions are driving for the, hopefully for the Lions case, a tie ball game here.
Lions are still very much alive in the 4th quarter with 12 minutes, 34 seconds left to play. This is Horace King. Out about 2. Alan Page made the stop.
I don't think we've had a field goal attempt today, have we? I do not think so. That's very unusual.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 at the 48-yard line. Dexter Bussey has gone out of the ball game now. David Hill and Charlie Sanders are both in there as tight ends. They use a lone setback in the double tight end alignment. And here is a timeout for the Detroit Lions. Lions call a timeout, and Landry is walking toward the sideline.
I'd like to know why, because that might be an important timeout later on in the ball game. You need those timeouts. And it's only under just dire necessity that you take one here.
Apparently a misunderstanding, and apparently he was not very clear on what the instructions were and decided to call a timeout to get a little direct communication, which he's getting.
Ever get the feeling that you wanted to cut out?
Go home, Mustang.
Mustang.
Let a Mustang take you away.
This is a great time to go Mustang because this year Mustang 2 is base sticker price less than last year.
Mustang.
The 78 Ford Mustang 2 Gia. What are you waiting for?
Go Mustang.
So cut out. Go Mustang. A better idea from Ford.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2, one more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
Edith and Archie get a motel room. Sunday at 9, 8th Central and Mountain.
What are you doing that for? I don't want them to think there's anything wrong with us. Go ahead.
Tommy Hudspeth with instructions still out there on the field toward the official who is being called over to the sideline. That is Jack Fetty, who is the line judge. In the third quarter, Houston 17 and the Pittsburgh Steelers 10.
Boy, what an upset that would be. Cleveland, Houston, and Pittsburgh all with 2-1 records. Of course, it looks as if Cleveland, that's a final. It's still in the fourth quarter. Oakland leads Cleveland 26-10.
"30-second clock was an error.
So they did not take a timeout. It does not count. So Detroit will have their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining.
That is right. The timeout does not count because the 30-second clock, a mechanical error we had. 2nd and 8 at the 48-yard line. Detroit's ball in Minnesota territory. Landry 19 for 28, 191 yards. And it is incomplete as Bobby Bryant deflected it. Got a hand on it, number 20.
Landry's pass intended for Blue, knocked down by Bryant.
Luther Blue, the intended receiver. Fran Tarkenton, by the way, in the air today is 18 for 27, 230 yards. The Lions have had 15 first downs. The Vikings have had 12. But Minnesota's leading here by a score of 14-7. They got the 14 points early. Dexter Bussey back into the ball game here now for the Detroit Lions. 3rd down and 8 yards to go, and the crowd is arising to this 3rd down occasion.
Well, this is where Alan Page just tees off and tries to get the quarterback. Here he comes.
Screen left, and it's taken by Bussey. Slip, gets to the 45, the 40. Knocked out of bounds, and if it's spotted there, it'll be a first. Let's see exactly where it's going to be spotted.
Be a little short.
Little short is right. Jeff Seaman bounced him out. He was trying to get to the stick, so it's going to be a little bit short. 4th down coming up.
Well, I think Detroit has got a lot of time left, 11:46. I think they're going to go for it. 4th down, they need about 1/3 of a yard.
That's a foot. 12 inches.
4th and inches. I was close, wasn't
You're
it?
right. Exactly.
Got a report Terry Bradshaw has been taken to the hospital at Pittsburgh game, so it's been a rough day for the quarterbacks. Both Stabler and Bradshaw are out. Big play coming up here for Detroit. 4th and everything.
Bussey and King.
Sneak it.
Sneak it at 1st and 10. Landry kept it.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little running room in the middle. He's picked up over 20 yards rushing today. Greg Landry here. He's got good size, 6'4", 210. Puts that right foot back, plants it in the ground, puts his head down, says, man, I hope I made it. And he did.
With about a yard to spare, or 2.
A little pressure on the center on those quarterback sneaks, especially when one of those defensive tackles comes over and plays patsy with your head.
First down and 10 yards to go. At the 37-yard line. This is King. Says defense. That's Federation for the support of the defense on the far side.
Yeah, you can't win without a good one. That's all your great teams. If you really look, the basic ingredient of a real big winner is a great defense.
Second down and 9 yards to go for the Detroit Lions. Horace King, Dexter Bussey are the setbacks for Greg Landry. Wants it over the middle, taken by Horace King, hit by Seaman. Immediately it's going to be marked at the 35-yard line. End of a couple of yards, so it'll be 3rd and 7. Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker, 6-year veteran from Stanford. Rick Kane has come into the ballgame, and Dexter Bussey has come out now. On a 3rd and 7, Rick Kane, a speedster, 5'11", 200-pounder from San Jose State, is in there for Bussey.
Might be in there for blocking purposes too, Lindsey. He's a good pass blocker.
He loosens up left. That's Kane. Landry.
Kane's wide open.
Kane at the 30-yard line, and Kane gets a 1st and 10. Incomplete, says the official. Incomplete. He went on down to about the 25, but it's an incompleted pass.
It looked like he had it enough time, but I guess he did not have full control of that football.
4th down at the 35, and Wilbur Summers, the punter, has come onto the field.
Well, he just circled out of the backfield. He was wide open. If Landry could have gotten the football up a little bit higher, that would have been a 1st down. He would have gotten to run forward a lot quicker.
9 minutes, 38 seconds left to play in the game. Minnesota is leading by a score of 14-7. Manfred Moore is back there to field the punt. They've got the corners covered as well. Grimm is on the left side, on the right side, and Miller's on the left side. Summers gets the snap. Pass play on 4th down. Dexter Bussey did not make it, and the ball goes over. Dexter Bussey took the pass from Wilbur Summers on 4th down. It was 4th and 7, and he did not make it. The ball goes over.
Wilbur Summers out of the punting formation. Minnesota's defense, I kind of think we're looking for that, Lindsey. They had that guy covered. They caught him short, so it's Viking football.
I mean, it's 14-7 with 9.5 minutes to play.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic, you need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
When you're looking for tires that put teeth in winter driving, drop in on the Snowbiters at Firestone. Look at them, 2 sets of deep biting teeth that really gobble up snow, but they don't take a bite out of you. Right now, a polyester cord Snowbiter is just $20 plus federal excise tax, and you can charge them. For quiet running, long mileage, and plenty of traction, Firestone Town and Country Snowbiters.
On CBS now, Mondays are out of this world as Logan's Run moves into a new time. Logan's Run, with all the impact of Star Wars, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time. 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. They lead 14-7 and have the ball at their own 30-yard line. Shanahan and Foreman are still the setbacks for Fran Tarkenton. That is Foreman. Did it as he tried to cut. Ed O'Neill made the stop. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, the Redskins have taken an early first quarter lead over Tampa Bay. Mike Thomas, a 6-yard run, a 44-yard field goal by Mark Mosley. It's 10-0 Redskins. And Dallas and St. Louis, they're tied up 3 apiece first quarter.
Tarkenton waiting for the snap. And it's Foreman. Stretched his body out across the 35 to the 36.
Well, that's good.
Ed O'Neill again.
Good defense again by Detroit, forcing Fran into passing situation here. Clock's ally, of course, of Minnesota. They'd love to keep the ball on the ground, pick up about 4 or 5 first downs, eat some valuable time off that clock. They've got a third and maybe about, what, 4.5, Linz?
Just about.
Here they come with that split backfield again, Lindsay. If we can catch a shot of the back here, watch him key the linebackers as they come out. Nope, draw.
Foreman on the draw, and he slipped trying to cut outside and has dropped for a loss of about a foot. Doug English made the stop. That's 4th down, and now the Minnesota Vikings have to punt the football away, and the Detroit Lions, trailing by 7 points, will get it again. Neil Claybo's coming to do the punting, and Dick Giron has dropped back to field, standing at his own 30-yard line.
It's a little frustrating for a punter. Completes his only pass of the year, short for the first down.
Claybo.
Off the side of
his foot is right. That's just where it was. Gets a good roll. No return. And the Detroit Lions will start 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Oh, that ball could have taken a right turn out of bounds about the 40-yard line. Claybo got a good bounce.
So with 7 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the game. Minnesota 14, Detroit Lions 7. Detroit has the ball.
When do you say Budweiser?
I say it with every stroke of my brush.
When do you say Budweiser?
ピザを食べながらテレビでカウボーイムービーを見るときですよ。
Right now, or any time that's right for a cold beer is perfect for the smooth taste of the king of beers, Budweiser.
When you say Budweiser,
Now that's a masterpiece.
you said it all.
You know, it looked like a light day, with nothing to deliver but posters for the AC Spark Plug Buy 7 Get 1 Free sale. What could be easier, right? Wrong. Do you know how many places sell AC Spark Plugs? And everyone with a poster like this is selling 8 AC Spark Plugs for the price of 7, as long as supplies last.
Sure, getting a free AC spark plug is a great idea. But you better move fast.
Bud Grant, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, and his quarterback, Fran Tarkenton. Detroit has the ball 1st and 10. And it is just short of the 27-yard line. Horace King and Dexter Bussey are the setbacks for Greg Landry. Minnesota's leading 14 to 7. Landry going long, and it's incomplete, intended for David Hill. 2nd and 10 at the 27 for the Detroit Lions.
Greg Landry has not had an interception all year long.
You see Big Jim Yarbrough there back in action this afternoon. He had been out with an injury, 9-year veteran from Florida. It is 2nd down and 10 yards to go. 2nd and 10. Rick Kane is in that backfield now. Greg Landry dropping back.
Pressure.
And he is caught by Carl Eller. Carl Eller, number 81.
Big Carl from his outside, a 14-year veteran from Minnesota. He'll come from the left of your screen. Greg Landry didn't see him till the last minute. Another sack.
It'll be 2nd, or rather 3rd and 23.
Also 13 yards from that sack.
Ball's back down the 14-yard line.
The 3rd sack for Landry today, Lynn. 33 yards for Lawson.
Kane and King, the setbacks for Landry. Short hop, incomplete to Charlie Sanders.
And that was caused again by number 81, Carl Eller. Pressure on the left side. And the defense getting a great hand here. They love the defense here in Minnesota. And that guy right there has been a big part of it for so many years.
The punting unit is in now for the Detroit Lions, and Wilbur Summers is back to do the punting. Manfred Moore is center deep to receive the punt. Summers at his goal line as Moore at his 48. Manfred Moore at the 49-yard line of Detroit. Gets to the 46. CBS Sports Spectacular coming up at 4:30 next Saturday.
$300,000 added from Belmont, boy. One of the great races in the fall, Triple Crown.
And the Chunichi Cup with Nadia Comaneci going against Nellie Kim of the Soviet Union.
And the world's strongest men, and of course that's been going on, a decathlon event. And some of the, well, the strongest guys in the world. It's self-explanatory right there. Great event. CBS Sports Spec.
Targeted. Completes the pass to the 35-yard line to Stu Boyd, and Boyd advances to the 30. First and 10 for the Vikings at the Detroit 30. Garth Tenepo made the tackle.
Well, Fran smells it now. They need 7 to put them away.
We have 6 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the game. Robert Miller's in. McClanahan is out. Chuck Foreman's still in there for Minnesota. Sammy White in the slot right. Quick pitch to Foreman. Drives inside the 20. There's a penalty marker. James Hunter made the stop, but there is a marker, and it could have been on Robert Miller.
Robert Miller. Here's the pitch around the right side. There's Robert Miller right in front. Well, you really can't see whether he held or not because it was a bad angle from our viewpoint. But the referee right there said, Bobby, you held him. A good pickup by Foreman that time on around the right side.
Be a 10-yard penalty. It'll put the ball back at the 40-yard line, make it 1st and 20.
Holding, number 35, Minnesota.
Robert Miller, number 35. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left to play. Minnesota 14, Detroit 7. Rashad to the left side, Sammy White to the right side. Robert Miller and Chuck Foreman the setback. Targeted. And he is gathered in by Price, Ernest Price. And it is back at the 47-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings.
And that's the first sack of Tarkinen today. Oh, he was trying to get the ball to Robert Miller, who was going down the left hash mark, wide open. Is that Ernest Price?
Ernest Price. It was a loss of 14 yards on the play, making it 2nd and 34.
Now the penalties are beginning to even out as far as seriousness of it. Now they've hurt Minnesota here.
Here comes Sammy Johnson into the ball game, the people's choice. Here in Minnesota, they've been plugging for a backfield of Sammy Johnson and Chuck Foreman, and Sammy Johnson is in with Robert Miller now as Foreman has gone out. 2nd and 34. Targeted. Up the middle, and Sammy White. Sammy White was there and took the ball at the 40-yard line.
Picked up 13. 13 big yards back for Sammy White.
Spotted at the 38. Lim Barney made the tackle.
Lindsay, you mentioned early, Sammy Johnson against Green Bay last week picked up 65 yards and 12 carries, and he was the leading rusher. And most of your fans around here, and I guess it's normal for any fans, they want to see Foreman and Johnson in the same backfield. But, you know, Bud Grant's won so many games, you'd like to go with the guys that you've been going with, and Johnson will get his shot.
3rd down and 18 yards to go. Officials on another ball. Vikings say they're ready. 3rd and 18.
Wait a minute.
Got a little communications problem here is what we have. Tarkenton. And he scrambles out. Now he goes long, way downfield, and it's incomplete. An incompleted pass intended for Rashad.
Targeted pass intended for Rashad is incomplete.
Williams was covering.
Along with Lem Barney was right there with him. Had him double covered.
4th down. And the Minnesota Vikings in possession with a 7-point lead. 4 minutes, 49 seconds left to play in the game. Neil Clabo, the punter, is in the ball game. Dick Duran has dropped back to field it for the Detroit Lions. Clabo almost toward the sideline. Fair catch signal, and the catch is made at the 27-yard line. It was Rick Kane who made the catch, and
I was going to say, Lindsay, that's a very smart play by Rick Kane there. The ball was high, could have bounded towards the goal line, and Rick Kane may have come up with a big play right there.
Took it at his own 27-yard line, 1st and 10, Detroit.
Who is the #1 investment firm in the East? Who is the #1 investment firm in the Midwest? Who is the #1 investment firm in the South? Who is the #1 investment firm in the West? You know who. Merrill Lynch. All around America, more investors turn to Merrill Lynch than any other investment firm. Sure, there are lots of investment firms, but there's only one Merrill Lynch.
In stage 1 of my life, I couldn't stand dull wheels. I'm the same in stage 2 with my new 78 Ford LTD2, the trimmer, sportier LTD at a trimmer price, the LTD of mid-size cars. If you're a sporty guy who appreciates the finer things in life, welcome to stage 2.
Isn't it you in that LTD2? You'll never know till you try.
Welcome to LTD2.
A better idea from Ford.
Coming up next over most of these same stations, the game between the Dallas Cowboys and the St. Louis Cardinals. Here we have 4 minutes, 42 seconds left to play in this game. And the Detroit Lions have the ball 1st and 10, just short of their own 27-yard line. Minnesota's leading 14-7. Bussey and King in the setbacks for Greg Landry. Landry, incomplete. Trying to get it to Horace King. Jeff Seaman there covering. 2nd and 10.
Well, they need some depth now. Their pass patterns, Lindsay. They need a big 1st down here to get up around the 40, 45-yard line where they can operate.
Minnesota got 14 points early in the ball game.
First 2 possessions they had the football. First 2 times they had their hands on the football, they scored.
They've made it stand up. 2nd and 10 here. Try draw play, and nothing. Nothing at all. Carl Eller was there to close off Horace King. Loss of about 3 yards on the play, makes it 3rd and 13. Third down play, and a big one coming here for Detroit. When you get down to 4 minutes and 7 seconds left, you trail by 7. They're all big plays.
And this play has come in from the bench with David Hill.
Landry. Going long to Jarvis. It's incomplete.
Fred McNeil.
Fred McNeil got a hand on it. So the punting unit comes on, and the Detroit Lions will have to give up the ball. That's McNeil.
Minnesota Viking defense again doing the job. And Lions had plenty of time there. 4 minutes to go. They get their hands back on the football. They need 1st downs. They got to kick it away.
Wilbur Summers is in to do the punting. Manfred Moore has dropped back center deep to field it for the Minnesota Vikings. Summers boots. Manfred Moore at his 43 to the 45.
Ooh, what a hit.
50-yard line.
Oh, he was popped.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line. Next Saturday at 4:30, CBS Sports Spectacular, the Jockey Club Gold Cup, the Shinichi Cup, and the World's Strongest Men.
All on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30.
Little something for everybody.
That hit on the special teams was by number 58, Tony Dakin, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, and he really popped Manfred Moore. We've got a final, San Diego, New Orleans. Take a guess, Lynn.
Tell me.
San Diego 14, New Orleans nothing.
Manfred Moore is in the ballgame. Robert Miller moved it up to the 50-yard line. Garth Naples made the tackle. Summers has had 9 punts today for an average of 33.5 yards. Second down and 9 yards to go. Oh, just across the 50-yard line.
Second and 9 for the Vikings and the Lions, 49.
Miller and Foreman are the setbacks now. Robert Miller. Hopping back is targeted. Completes this one to Robert Miller.
Miller was struggling for that first down. Let's see where they mark it. I think he was a little bit short.
Was a little short.
Boy, Burt Jones has had a great day against Miami. They really come back. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes. McCauley has scored on a 1-yard run now to extend the Colts' lead over Miami to 45-28 in a battle of unbeatens.
Third down and a yard to go. At the 41-yard line, and we have 2 minutes 25 seconds left to play in the ball game as we approach the 2-minute warning.
Foreman. I don't think he got it.
Might not have. Ed O'Neill popped him there.
Boy, you can hear it all the way up here, that leather pop.
Chuck Foreman carried the football, and they're still getting him unstuck.
It'll be a little bit short. Now, let's see what Bud Grant does. Watch Ed. There he is, Ed O'Neill right there, number 55. Foreman comes straight ahead, and he doesn't waste any time. McNeil had a little help, but he really made the pop.
Fourth down and a yard to go, and we're going to get to the 2-minute warning before the next play. There it is, right there. So we have 2 minutes remaining to be played in this ball game. Minnesota Vikings are leading 14-7. They have the ball. Fourth down and a yard to go at the 41-yard line of Detroit.
When you walk through the lobby of a Napa store, you only get a hint of what Napa really has to offer. There's much more, because if we put just one part from every kind of vehicle that Napa has to offer in this lobby, you wouldn't have room to walk. So we put them in this Napa shopping guide instead. Walk through the lobby of your local Napa store today and pick up your free copy. Your Napa store is a great auto supply store, but they've got more, much more. That's NAPA. We help keep America moving.
A guy I know tells me this new Sunbeam adjustable groomer razor is the greatest shaver ever made. Oh, I say, so what? I'm a blade man. He says, try it and you won't be. He's right.
Here's how Sunbeam's new groomer razor works. 12 stainless steel blades cut at 8,000 strokes a minute through the thinnest shaving head you can get. Stands whiskers up and shears them off, at or below the skin line.
You a blade guy? Try this. It may be the last time you use a blade.
The Detroit Lions discussing their defensive strategy here because it'll be fourth down for the Minnesota Vikings and a yard to go. They have the ball at the 41-yard line of the Detroit Lions. Tommy Hudspeth, the head coach of the Lions. Tarkin has just come back from his conference with Coach Bud Grant.
And Bud Grant decides, let's make it. You got a half a yard to go.
Let's go for it, he said.
Guess who's going to get the football, Lindsay? I'd say they're going over the right side with Chuck Foreman.
They usually go with Foreman. They do with Foreman. First and 10. Penalty marker. Penalty marker was dropped.
And a couple of those Lions are with their fists in the air. Preliminary happiness there for Detroit. It's got to be against Minnesota.
Offsides against Minnesota. Now what do you do?
Well, they're going to take the
Monday
penalty.
night. Yes, you take the penalty, and I presume at Minnesota punt.
Oh, yes.
Here comes the punting unit onto the field.
Fake punt. No way. No way. He'll kick it out. He'll try to get it out of bounds.
Left side of the line, Minnesota.
The left side of the line, offside.
I tell you, Claybo has been flirting with that coffin corner on a couple of kicks earlier. He's pointing over to his left side a little bit.
And Duran is back to field it. Hangs it up there. It's on the 10-yard line.
This will be covered.
It's at the 4-yard line, and that's where Detroit will start.
Oh, you couldn't ask for anything better.
First and 10 at the 4. Mondays are out of this world. Logan's Run moves into a new time. Logan's Run with all the impact of Star Wars tomorrow at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time on CBS. Our producer, Dave Fox. Our director today, Marvin Muse. Associate producers, Clarence Anderson. Errol Mopin, the technical director. Al Gench is on audio. First and 10 for the Lions. They trail by 7. They have the ball at their own 4-yard line. From the end zone, it's incomplete.
Boy, Carl Eller again putting pressure on Landry. He's helping him up.
Put more than pressure on him. Put that large body on him down into the mud. It'll be second and 10 at the 4-yard line. 1:42 in set there. Carl Eller. Eller, of course, has been around this town for a long, long time. 14-year veteran in the NFL, played his college football at the University of Minnesota. From the end zone again, and he gets it off, and it is complete. Taken across the 20-yard line by Charlie Sanders.
Oh, what an effort that time by Greg Landry. It looked like he was going to get caught in the end zone, Lens, for a safety, and what a catch by Charlie Sanders. Let's watch it. Watch Landry go back, and what pressure. Look at that right hook by Eller. And from the other side, Landry just threw it up there. He saw Sanders. He said, "Here it comes, pal." What a great pass under great pressure by Greg Landry for the first down.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line. 1:33 remain to be played in this game. Minnesota's leading 14-7. Detroit has the ball. Landry throws it back across the field, incomplete. Next to Bussey over in that direction. Second and 10 at the 20.
Ooh, what a great individual effort you just witnessed there on the part of Greg Landry. That's as good a pass as I've ever seen out of the end zone. Just refused to go down, Lindsey.
1:27 on that clock. This is a second and 10 for the Detroit Lions. The ball at their own 20-yard line. Luther blew out right.
I was going to say, Lindsey, they need one of their flankers to break a tackle here, do something big.
And it is completed. Taken by Luther Blue. It's at the 33-yard line. Timeout. A timeout, Detroit. They stop the clock with 1:18. Coming up next now, over most of these stations, a game between the Dallas Cowboys and the St. Louis Cardinals. Big game coming up next. We have 1:18 left in this one now, and Landry's going over for a talk with Coach Tommy Hudspeth and his staff along the sideline. It will be a first and 10 when players resume. The ball is out there in advance of the 33-yard line. That's Hudspeth talking to Landry.
Well, the Viking defense will be in that zone now. They'll be covering the deep zones, and I'm going to ask our director, Marvin Muse, to get a shot of Paul Krause as they line up, Lindsey, because he will be back about 4 or 5 yards deeper than any of the backs. He's going to play the free safety, and he's a very important man in this zone defense. He kind of, as I said before, plays that center field position and goes to the football. Landry today, no interceptions, 23 out of 40 for 229 yards today.
Our director, Marvin Muse, has asked me to tell you that he'd be more than happy to comply with your request.
No problem. All right.
As players resume, this will be first and 10 at the 33 and 1:18 left to play. It started out this afternoon as though the Minnesota Vikings might blow the Lions out because in their first two possessions they put points on the scoreboard and led 14-0. But the Lions managed to hang in there and got 7 points on the board and have been very much in this football game in the second half.
Well, we got another quarterback with a broken ankle this time, Dan Pastorini. There's Paul Krause, as I was saying. Oh, look how deep he is, Lynn.
I see which direction he started. Right over the middle, and it's taken by King. But he only got to the 36-yard line for 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 7. Jeff Wright made the tackle, the strong safety.
And you see why there's not too many 60-yard passes completed in the prevent defense against Minnesota.
A no-huddle play. The Lions are ready. Penalty marker is thrown. It is completed. Taken by Horace King. And he is stopped at the 40-yard line.
He should have tried to get out of bounds immediately.
Penalty marker to be checked out here now.
Could it be that old nasty holding again?
Among other things, illegal motion against the Lions. .50 seconds left to play in the game. Minnesota's leading 14-7. Motion is a 5-yard penalty.
Number 81, Detroit, in motion.
That's David Hill. Makes it 2nd down, 12 yards to go, and the ball's on to 31. Krause, again, the center fielder. Free safety back there, ready to defend against anything that's long. Landry.
Jarvis is open.
David Hill, incomplete. David Hill, number 81. And it'll be 3rd and 12, and the clock says 43 seconds. Krause and Wright both there, Jeff Wright.
Ray Jarvis was wide open over the middle, coming across. I'm sure he's going to go back in the huddle and tell Landry that. There's a final. Cincinnati 17, Green Bay 7. Looks like my man Bart's in for a long year, doesn't it?
The alumni are not doing too well today. Forrest Gregg lost earlier with the Cleveland Browns.
Jim Ringo also with Buffalo.
3rd down and 12 yards to go. Now, a timeout. Landry turned and called a timeout. Ooh. So they spent one there with 43 seconds left to play. The Minnesota Vikings are leading the Lions 14-7, very late in this ball game.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone, Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone.
America, you've been changing.
Coming, going, changing, growing. The things that make up life.
Why is Bank AmeriCard becoming Visa? To keep up with you.
You're traveling, you're moving, you're taking more from life.
Today, you need money that's good around the corner, all across America, and in 117 countries around the world. That's why Bank AmeriCard is becoming Visa, the most widely recognized card in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
Here comes Landry now back into that huddle with the play. That'll go for 3rd and 12. Lions ball at their own 31. They are trailing by 7 points with 43 seconds left.
And they only have one timeout remaining.
Dexter Bussey is that lone setback. Landry. Incomplete to Travis.
He was open. Great play by Fred McNeil there. He broke out the square out pattern. 4th down, and of course they'll go for it.
38 seconds left to play, 4th down, and they still want to try to pick it up and stay alive in this football game. These two teams started the day tied for the top spot in the Central Division of the National Football Conference. Identical records of 2 wins and 1 loss each. Other teams in the Central, of course, are the Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hopping back Greg Landry on 4th down, and he pumps it, and a diving catch. It was made by Leonard Thompson.
Boy, what a good catch. He had to come back for the football and caught it very close to the ground. The clock's running. As I said, Lindsay, they only got 1 timeout.
1st and 10, they have it at their 48-yard line. Throw this one out to stop the clock. So now the clock is stopped with 16 seconds. Thompson was a receiver in that general neighborhood. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Play is being brought in from the bench now by Dexter Bussey. Charlie Sanders going off on the far side.
Boy, very unusual today. We have not had a field goal attempt in this ball game.
Coming
Dallas
up
and
next,
St. Louis.
right.
Boy, what a big one that is. Stay tuned right here. The NFL at its best on CBS.
Andre throws, and it is intercepted at the 15-yard line by Bryant. Bryant.
He caught the ball laying flat on his back.
He was on his back, and the ball was right in his hand. So that gives the ball to Minnesota.
And that should just about do it. Landry's got to go for the home run here. Look at that catch by Bobby Bryant. He was actually on his back when he caught the football. That is Landry's first interception of the year.
5 seconds left to play in the game. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Only thing they can hope for now be a miracle to be stripped the football. And they'd have to strip it, I think, for Fran Tarkenton, who's going to get it.
I think he'll hit the deck, and there he goes. That's the Tarkenton move here. He's done it so well so long. Timeout for the Detroit Lions, and we have 2 seconds left. That's their final timeout. Lions want to just avail themselves of every possible opportunity, so they have used the timeout. Bud Grant, it's been another one of those ball games, and the Minnesota Vikings have had a great many of them over the years here at Metropolitan Stadium.
Bud Grant got his 100th coaching victory in the NFL last week. It should be 101. He had 102 in Canada.
Again now, Tarkenton hits the deck, and the time has run out, and that's the end of the ball game. As the Minnesota Vikings have won it 14-7. Keep in mind that next Saturday afternoon at 4:30 on these stations, you'll see the CBS Sports Spectacular. Something for everybody with a variety of top events. Here this afternoon, the Minnesota Vikings won it 14-7. Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
Johnny Cash is host to Roy Clark, Dolly Parton, Merle Haggard, Loretta Lynn, and other top stars of country music at the Country Music Awards. Don't miss it tomorrow night on CBS.